Hello, this is Andrew Bustamante, and I wanted to talk today about the sudden news and death of Kobe Bryant. And I've heard a lot of people have different views on how we should be reacting to Kobe's death. But I want to talk about what I believe is the reason why people are reacting the way they are to his death. So here we have a person who none of us really know personally. If you were walking in the grocery store and you saw Kobe Bryant, sure, you could see him at a first name basis. You could say, Kobe, how's it going? But he's not going to know who you are. So, in a sense, you don't really know the person. However, in another sense, you do kind of know the person. You have followed him for years, seen him play. When an athlete is playing a sport, you have no choice but to wear your emotions on your sleeve. So you really get to know how a person reacts with friends, how a person reacts in stressful situations, how a person reacts with enemies. And when you can see someone, how they go about their day with friends, with enemies, with stressful situations, you really get to know someone. So in a sense, there are many people who got to know Kobe at least on a certain level. I'm not saying you know his personal day-to-day life. Everyone struggles with different things, and so there's no way we can know Kobe on a personal level, but you can say at a certain level that we knew him in some way. And I would say in a pretty good way versus other public figures, because of the dynamics of the basketball court and how you would react with people, as I mentioned before. So I have two theories as to why people are reacting the way they are to Kobe's death. Number one, and I've heard this online before, and I think it's very valid, is Kobe was, I think, 41 or 42, and he suddenly passed away. He had everything at his disposal. Virtually, for any normal person, an unlimited amount of money. Beautiful family, awesome career, retired. If you could choose to, there's a valid question to be said, is if you could choose to live a full, quote unquote, normal life to your average age expectancy of 78 or 84 years old or whatever it is, and you could have Kobe's life and also die at 42, what would you choose? But his sudden death, it forces people to face their own mortality. So that's the first reason I think people are reacting the way they are. When you hear a story of someone who, by all accounts, had every means possible to live a long and happy life, and for something that was completely out of control, we have an allotted time on Earth, and it forces you to think, this could be my last day on Earth. You're not guaranteed a full, quote unquote, long life. Who's to say his life was less complete because it was shorter at 42 years than at 84 years? So we're kind of forced to face that mortality in a way. We go about our daily lives mostly ignoring the fact that we're mere mortals and that we have an expiration date. The longer we can ignore that fact, it puts a peace in our mind. But when there's someone who just passes away out of nowhere with just a freak accident, it kind of gives us a little shock. And by mourning that person whom we don't know personally, it kind of puts our minds at ease for that mortality. You know, I'm going to ignore my own mortality just a little by mourning this person. So that's my first theory as to why people are reacting the way they are. Could be right, could be wrong. It's just a theory. My second theory is, and both can be true at the same time, my second theory is that we're living in a society that no longer puts a value on close personal relationship. So, whereas we used to make really close friendships, now many of us have quote-unquote close friendships online. You know, you have 900 friends on Facebook or something like that. Twitter, Snapchat. You make your friendships, even with your close personal friends, you build those relationships online and not in person. So whether you have a bunch of friends online that you don't actually really know, but you like their content or in posts and they like yours, so you feel the dopamine flow in your brain, so you feel that they are actually a friend of yours, or that you actually have a really close friend whom you hang out with, and then also you like their posts and stuff like that. So you're subsidizing the friendship, the value of the friendship, with your online reactions, I guess. So when we're used to having friendships and online reactions and used to seeing friendships and relationships in that way anyways, that's kind of the friendship we've had with Kobe, or people have had. Like I say, I had a friendship with Kobe. So when you see people reacting the way they do to Kobe, in a sense, they are losing a friend, because to them, friendship is only something that happens online, whether they know it or not. You know, when you spend, I think it's an average of 3 hours a day on social media, and that's how you're building your friendships, and you also follow celebrities. When one of these celebrities passes away suddenly, unexpectedly, it's kind of like your friend passing away. What's the difference between Kobe passing away and one of your Facebook friends passing away, whom you were only friends with in the first place because of mutual friends on Facebook anyways? If you were never mutual friends with other people, and the only reason why you're friends with them in the first place is because you added them from a one-time reaction and you like their content and they like your content, it's really not a friendship. It's just an online fantasy friendship that you've built together. The way I see it, that's the same friendship that the people who really don't know Kobe at all have. That's the reason they're mourning. They've lost a friend in their mind. So, moral of the story is, you know, we are mortal. We all have an expiration date, and whether you are a theist or an atheist, all the more reason to live every day like it could be your last. Should be a good lesson for anyone. Be grateful for what you have, you know. I was playing basketball today, pick-up basketball every Saturday morning, and one of my friends was mentioning that we had lost like 4 games in a row. For the record, that doesn't normally happen, but we were kind of saying, like, you know what, sometimes you have those days. You come in and you win all the games. Sometimes you go in and you lose all the games. But you know what? I was struck with a sudden happiness to know, like, you know what? I'm playing basketball. I have 2 functioning legs that allow me to do that. I have a blast doing it. And I should enjoy every stinking moment that I have on the earth, especially since that could have been the last day I played basketball. I get that thought sometimes every time I go play basketball, like, I could blow out an ACL or an MCL, and for all intents and purposes, that would be the death of my basketball game, which would be very sad. So take advantage of the time you have, and don't take anything for granted, especially time. Time is finite, and you only have a limited amount. That's the moral of the story from Kobe's death, number 1. And number 2 is build real friendships. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. I've been blessed my whole life to have amazing friends, and some of my best friends don't have online social media accounts, and I think that's the reason why we're probably great friends. I do have Facebook, and this is kind of cliche to say, but I only use it to follow family, and in a sense that kind of diminishes the relationship I have with my family when I can just go in and click a like on one of my brother's posts or my sister's post. What I really should be doing is speaking with them on the phone. We don't live in the same city, or really taking advantage of that quality time I have them when I am visiting. So that's the moral of the story. Take advantage of every day and build close friendships. So God bless and have a nice day.